Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, a total of 700,000 pesos worth of family food packs were distributed to the residents of two barangays in Ginobatan, Albay after the onslaught of severe tropical storm Christine. The said distribution was conducted at the Ginobatan Evacuation Center under the leadership of the Department of Social Welfare and Development DSWD Field Office 5, Bicol. A total of 659,590 pesos worth of food packs were received by 529 displaced families in Barangay Maninila and 400 families in Barangay Tandarora in the said town. Based on the report from DSWD Bicol, each family received a food pack worth 710 pesos. Meanwhile, the agency continues to coordinate with the local government units, LGUs, in the province to ensure the faster distribution of relief items to families affected by Typhoon Christine. In a related story, a total of 2,757,400 pesos worth of family food packs have been distributed to the residents of Albay affected by Typhoon Christine. The distribution of food packs was led by the Department of Social Welfare and Development DSWD-5. Residents from the towns of Ginobatan, Villar, Libon, Piudran, and Pulangi received food packs worth 2,564,990 pesos and 192,410 pesos in Tabaco City. This initiative aims to provide immediate assistance and support to local government units and their constituents following the widespread impact of Typhoon Christine. Meanwhile, the agency continues to coordinate with the LGUs to ensure the prompt and effective provision of the needs to the affected families. In the national scene, the country has already recorded a total of 3.11 billion pesos agricultural losses following the onslaught of severe tropical storm Christine. According to the Department of Agriculture, Christine's impact covers 74,554 farmers, 72,329 hectares of agricultural areas, and 160,107 metric tons of production loss. 2.87 billion pesos worth of rice with a volume of production loss at 152,440 metric tons, covering 69,976 hectares of land were damaged by the said typhoon. The value production of losses for corn already reached 22.27 million pesos, with 783 hectares of affected land and volume of production loss at 1,461 metric tons. Various initiatives will be made to help the farmers, such as the distribution of rice stocks, deployment of Gadiwa store, and the allocation of the 1 billion peso quick response fund for the rehabilitation and recovery of the affected areas. In other story, fuel prices are up by 50 centavos per liter starting today, as announced by various oil companies. Based on the separate advisories of Sea Oil, Shell Pilipinas, and Clean Fuel, a 50 centavo hike per liter of diesel and kerosene is now being felt by the motorists, while gasoline prices also increased by 20 centavos per liter. According to Rodela Romero, director of the Department of Energy Oil Industry Management Bureau, the said upward price adjustments could be attributed to the growing demand from the South Korea and Iran's retaliation against Israel. Meanwhile, Romero has reiterated that retailers should observe price freeze for household LPG and kerosene in areas that are still under a state of calamity due to the onslaught of the severe tropical storm Christine. In other news, the Philippine National Police is set to deploy about 19,000 personnel nationwide for this year's UNDAS. According to PNP spokesperson Brigadier General John Fajardo, 18,802 cops will be dispatched to monitor transport terminals and assistance desks starting this Thursday, October 31st. Fajardo added that they would revitalize police in barangays to patrol residential areas. Meanwhile, the official also advised the public, particularly those living in their homes, to secure their houses to avoid incidents such as robbery. And in the news outside the country, Pakistan has initiated another nationwide vaccination campaign to protect around 45 million children from polio after recording a surge in new cases. The said door-to-door campaign, which aims to combat the increasing number of polio cases, is already the third conduct for this year. According to the Prime Minister's advisor for Polio Eradication Program, Ayesha Raza Farouk, children below 5 years old would be vaccinated and given vitamin A supplements to bolster their immunity. Prime Minister Sheba Sharif urged the health workers to ensure that every child will be inoculated through house-to-house vaccination. The coordinator of the National Emergency Operations Center, Anwarul Haq, asked for the parents' cooperation with polio workers, noting that the said condition has no cure but can be prevented with the said vaccination. Pakistan and Afghanistan are the only countries in the world where polio cases have always been existent, with 41 and 18 patients respectively. And finally, in the news outside the country, about 16 people were injured in Mexico after a car rammed into a crowd outside the Guadalajara Cathedral. The authorities said that the driver allegedly stole the pickup truck involved in the incident and drove into the plaza in front of the cathedral to escape. According to Manuel Romo, Guadalajara's Secretary General, the injured were as young as 14, and the suspect is now under the police custody for proper disposition. Meanwhile, the mayor reassured that the victims are now in stable condition. And that's all for the 12 o'clock news break, October 29, 2024. We'll be right back tomorrow for more news updates. And thanks to our 12 o'clock news break writer, LJ Lorejo and AJ Espiritu. And on the technical side, Chad Bobis. And of course, our Provincial Information Officer, Mary Luduca Castillo. And under the supervision of our Acting Governor, Glenda Ongbungao, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing.